late January, early February of 2017, and I had just come off the release of an album called Citizen 603 somewhere in the near future, and was getting a little burnt out in the studio. So instead of waking up in the morning and jumping into my usual computer music madness, I began to sit down with a guitar and notepad like the old days and start writing songs again. And I was a little apprehensive because I actually hadn't written music and lyrics together in quite a while and was afraid I might have lost my mojo, but this was not the case. I mean, I'm always writing, always creating. Even if it's a little lyrical idea there, a song title, I'm always open and always have my antenna on. I ended up writing about 2 songs a day for a good 2 to 3 weeks, just letting musical styles and lyrics flow and steer the ship. After it seemed that I had all I needed to say, I was left with close to 20 new tracks, running the gamut from genres like hard rock, acoustic ballads, jazzy Charleston numbers to face-crushing progressive metal. This project was definitely not my wheelhouse of things I wanted to work on in 2017, but again, I just let the music steer the ship. After all was said and done, I sat back at this new material I had just created. Material which I think I had been bottling up for many years. I believe this is the stuff I was trying to express with the Citizen 603 album. But that was all instrumental. Now I was able to convey with music and words exactly what I was thinking about. From my experiences living and working in New York City for 10 years, and my eventual move back to Buffalo in 2016. I then began showing a few friends this new material, and they all seemed to say, "Sounds weird, Geoff. Kind of sounds like a musical." Well, that's cool. Not many people know that I have written about 4 albums worth of material in the last 5 years. 2 unfinished musicals, as well as a dozen more instrumental tracks. You see, I try to keep my work to myself until I think it's ready to be shown to the public, which typically results in me finishing it to about 98%, getting bored, shelving it, and moving on to the next project. I recognize that I was basically hoarding my music, which perhaps isn't the right approach. So when I hear, "Sounds weird," it doesn't make sense to me, because this new material is just me. I guess it's just because I'm so familiar with all the stuff I've done in the past that this new material really doesn't sound like anything out of the ordinary. But I seem to forget no one else has heard that stuff. All they know is the music from conversation pieces, my TV and commercial music, and the cheesy 80s album, which is just a small fraction of what I have in my archive, if you will. My focus was on getting this album recorded and released as soon as possible, while it was still inspired and fresh in my mind. I didn't want to get bored this time, so I acted fast. But what should I call it? Stay tuned for part 2 of the making of Acquiescence. And the cheesy 80s. F you, man. Another one of my New Year's resolutions was to start sharting. You want to shart? Is it all for naught if no one else hears it? Perhaps other people can relate to the stuff I'm... F you! Perhaps other people can relate to the stuff I'm writing about. Probably not.